Hi there, and good afternoon. I'm John.
I'm Zen. And I'm Julie.
We're with C Nation, and you are tuned in to the 50 Days of Cannabis podcast, where we examine the cannabis laws in each of the 50 states.
Oh, hold on, John. You missed one.
I did. The District of Columbia is also included in this. We just thought 50 days sounded a little better than 51. Today we're looking at the cannabis laws in Texas. The Lone Star State isn't the friendliest place in America for cannabis enthusiasts, but it's not nearly as bad as its neighbor to the north. Given its proximity to Mexico, it no doubt deals with its fair share of imported cannabis and has used the sheer number of cases to temper its approach to meting out justice. So Zen, tell us what it's really like in Texas.
Well, possession of 2 ounces or less of cannabis in Texas is a misdemeanor, punishable up to 180 days in jail. That's 6 months, and a maximum fine of $2,000.
It's ridiculous.
Possession of between 2 and 4 ounces is also a misdemeanor, up to a year in jail, and a max fine of $4,000.
$4,000, $2,000. They must have set those rates back when cannabis was expensive and drug dealers were making money.
Yeah. Now get this, possession of any amounts greater than 4 ounces in Texas is a felony between 180 days in jail and 99 years in prison.
Wow.
With fines ranging from $10,000 to $50,000.
More than 4 ounces?
Yeah.
And less than how much?
Greater than 4 ounces.
Well, just anything. Jeez, 99 years. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's just not that much cannabis. Anyway, sorry.
Do they have any medical?
Nope, Texas has no medical cannabis.
They just seem very harsh with their law.
They do, and we'll have to see what happens with their medical program. They don't have one, but there does appear to be some good news on that front. Their last couple of legislative sessions, they have approached the subject, and it was more than just like the silly program you see in Utah, which is just like CBD oil and no way to get it or grow it or make it or anything. Just good luck, hope you can find it. They've really tried to put a really comprehensive medical program together, and they came very close this year. It got killed in committee, which happened last year as well, but it was pretty close this year. And, there's a lot of movement in cannabis right now, cannabis legalization around the country. Several states have really comprehensive programs ready for the November 18 ballot. Many other states have ballot initiatives ready for adult use in November of 18. So I think, Texas legislators will see the results of next year's election with a lot of states going both medical and adult use, and I think they'll finally get this through. So no medical in Texas, boo, but it's probably coming. Yay for working on it. Good job, Texas.
Let me go ahead and talk about the sellers and the growers. The exchange of 7 grams or less. So if I decide to give someone a nug,
Gimme.
or a gram, sorry. That's a misdemeanor and punishable up to 180 days in jail and a maximum fine of $2,000.
For giving me your gear?
Wow.
So now if you decide to sell 7 grams or less, that's a misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in jail and a maximum fine of $4,000.
Yikes.
So if you sell or distribute any amount greater than 7 grams, it's a felony and punishable between 180 days in jail and 99 years in prison with a maximum fine ranging between $10,000 to $100,000.
Holy cow.
This is where we get now even more serious.
Even more.
Nope, where are the distributors getting it?
Oh, the growers. Totally forgot about the growers. Thank you, Zen. The cultivation laws in Texas are informed by its possession guidelines based on the usable weight of the cannabis plant.
Now is when we get more serious.
Serious.
We get the most seriouser now, is that right?
Yep.
Here we are. School zones. School zones. As if it wasn't bad enough in Texas. I mean, it's not very cannabis friendly, as was just pointed out. But sell that cannabis, intend to sell that cannabis, or grow that cannabis in a school zone, and it's an automatic 1 charge enhancement. And you just listen to Zen and Julie walk right up the scale on how bad this is. That means you're going to automatically have more mandatory time right up front, 1, 2, 3, 5 years now. You're going to have a longer stay as a guest of the state of Texas, which has got to just be lousy. And you're going to have a larger fine for school zones. So we take it seriously here. We tell your dumbass to stay out of a school zone with your cannabis.
Be responsible.
Absolutely. Texas is enormous. If you can't manage to stay out of their school zones with your cannabis, yeah, you deserve
You ain't
to go
looking
to
for-
prison.
All right, before
Exactly.
let me interrupt you. Got
Do
a little
that.
question. Can you please, for our listeners, let them know what intent to distribute means? I noticed that you had mentioned that in the schools.
Yeah, I can. It's always a great thing to explain intent to distribute, because we know that we have possession and we know that we have distribution, but it seems like this intent is somewhere in the middle of that, and it kind of is. But at the end of the day, it's a distribution charge. But intent to distribute is having cannabis in your possession that looks like it is ready to be sold. It's been weighed out into smaller bags. You probably have some scales on hand. You may have a pocket full of small bills, which is always a dead ringer for a drug dealer. And you don't even have to be caught in the act of actually selling. If everything about your cannabis in your possession suggests it's ready to be sold,
That
is
intent to sell.
intent to distribute, exactly. And it's a distribution charge, and of course we know that's in Texas. So good question, Jules. Thanks. For a more comprehensive look at the cannabis laws in Texas, please visit us at cnation.com and click on the state-by-state link.
Remember, you have rights if you're arrested for any cannabis-related reasons. You have the constitutional right to remain silent until your attorney is present. If you don't have an attorney, ask for one.
This is Zen
And Julie,
And John.
with C Nation, bringing you a snapshot of the cannabis laws in Texas. Be safe.
stay informed.
What they said. The 50 Days of Cannabis podcast is a copyrighted production of the South American Gold Corporation.
We appreciate your likes and shares on social media.
Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CNation Channel.